Hello class 8, this is your fourth video of the chapter Adjectives and Degrees of Comparison, and in my last video I have discussed all the three degree of comparison, and we have seen that how some words has more than one comparative and superlative degree. Now let's start the next topic, that is making comparisons. We will compare here, we will do some comparison in this video, and I will do 6 exercises that are left. So let's quickly start our video. See the first one that is given here. What you have to do, you have to use as and as form. So the comparison of equality is expressed by as and as, when both are equally tall or equally short or equally long, equally sweet. So as and as we will use. See the first example that is given here. Suman and Kanika are tall. If we change it, it becomes Suman is as tall as Kanika. In both we come to know that both girls are tall. We can write it any way. One thing you have to see, that when you are changing it in this form, the positive degree is used. Alright. And one thing you have to notice that is given here in this pink box, this notice, the change in verb in accordance with subject are is changed into is. You have to see the subject, and according to that you have to change your verb. You can see in the first one are was used and the second is used, because in the first Suman and Kanika plural, so are is used, and the second one Suman alone singular, so is used. Alright, now let's start this exercise N. Rewrite the sentences given below using as and as form. See, I will tell you orally, then after finishing one exercises, I will show you the answers in written form also. You can see the first one, tomatoes and onions are costly. How can it be changed? Tomatoes are as costly as onions. Alright, then see the second one, it is exactly like it is given above. Ritu and Reema are short. Ritu is as short as Reema. Then third is John and Jay are good in maths. John is as good as Jay in maths. Then fourth is Tower 1 and Tower 2 are tall. What will be the answer? Tower 1 is as tall as Tower 2. Then fifth is apples and grapes are sweet. What will be the answer? Apples are as sweet as grapes. This will be the answer. Alright. Now I will show you the answers in written form. Alright. See all the 5 answers now. The first one is tomatoes are as costly as onions. Then Ritu is as short as Reema. Third is John is as good as Jay in maths. Fourth is Tower 1 is as tall as Tower 2. Fifth is apples are as sweet as grapes. You can pause this for some time and write the answers. Okay, let's move to our next video. Next exercise. Now let's see this B1. What you have to do here, you have to use not as and then as. Like in the above, you have used only as and as form. Here we will use not, means negative. Alright. And we can use not, so and as, and then than also can be used. One thing you have to see here, it is again given in this pink box. Notice that the degree of comparison changes from comparative to positive degree in negative sentences. So in negative sentences, the comparative degree is changed into positive degree. Alright, see this example. Raman is taller than Pia. Alright, then see this how it is changed. Pia is not so tall as Raman, and Pia is not as tall as Raman. So in all the three we get the same meaning, that Raman is taller, or you can say Pia is shorter than Raman. This is what we are getting from these three sentences. It's just the method is changed. We use different method to write the same sentence. Alright, now let's do our next exercise. See here, we can also express the same meaning by using less or least. Like we can use Pia is less tall than Raman. So again it means same. What you have to do in exercise O, that is given here, you have to rewrite the sentence using not as, and then less. See the first example. Raman is taller than Suresh. Then what we have written, Suresh is not as tall as Raman. And then what we are saying, Suresh is less tall than Raman. Here also I will tell you in oral way, or oral form, and then I will show you the written answers after completing this exercise. See the first one. Platinum is costlier than gold. How will it be changed? Gold is not as costly as platinum. And how it can be changed using less? Gold is less costly than platinum. Now see the second one. My uncle is taller than my father. It will be, my father is not as tall as my uncle, and my father is less tall than my uncle. Then third is, the mango is sweeter than the pineapple. The pineapple is not as sweet as the mango. And the second one will be, the pineapple is less sweet than the mango. Fourth is, iron is more useful than copper. Copper is not as useful as iron. And the second will be, copper is less useful than iron. Fifth is, silk is softer than cotton. What will be the answer? Cotton is not as soft as silk, and cotton is less soft than silk. In all the answers, have you noticed one thing, that we have changed the comparative degree into positive degree? This is what we do when we change the sentence in negative form. Okay, let's quickly see the answer. See, these are the answers. Pause it for some time and see it. First is, gold is not as costly as platinum. Then gold is less costly than platinum. Second, my father is not as tall as my uncle. My father is less tall than my uncle. Third, the pineapple is not as sweet as the mango. The pineapple is less sweet than the mango. Fourth, copper is not as useful as iron. Copper is less useful than iron. Fifth, cotton is not as soft as silk. Cotton is less soft than silk. Alright, let's move to our next exercise. Now see here, use of least we have to do. What is there in this exercise, that in comparison, when we are comparing, that is what we are doing. Comparison is also expressed with the word least in the superlative degree. So when there's superlative degree, we can use the word least also. How we can do that? See this example. That was the easiest exam I have ever written. If we have to use the word least, what we can say? That was the least difficult exam I have ever written. So have you seen that this word opposite of easiest is difficult, and if we say least difficult, it means easiest. Are you getting that? So least difficult means easiest. So in this way we will do that. We have to use the opposite of that word and we will add least to it. Now see this exercise P, that is here. Rewrite the sentence using least without changing the meaning. You have to see that the meaning is not changed. Like see the first one, Wolfram is one of the rarest mineral. So rarest, opposite of rarest is common. So we have to see how it is written. Wolfram is one of the least common of all minerals. Alright. So in this way we have to do the rest 3. See the second one. To me, the Indian gooseberry is the sourest of all the fruits. What is the opposite of sourest? Sour. This is what is there. So change it into that and then write. To me, the Indian gooseberry is the least sweetest of all the fruits. This is what you can write. Alright. Then third, this is the most useless of all my suitcases. What is the opposite of most useless? It will be least useful. This is the way we can write. So it will be, this is the least useful of all my suitcases. Fourth is, he occupied the most comfortable position to watch the match. It will be, he occupied the least uncomfortable position to watch the match. Alright. Now let's quickly see the answer in written form. See, this is the answer. Second one is, to me the Indian gooseberry is the least sweet of all the fruits. Third is, this is the least useful of all my suitcases. Fourth is, he occupied the least uncomfortable position to watch the match. Pause it for some time and write it. Okay, let's quickly move to our next exercise. Now what we have to do, we have to change the degree of comparison. Like it, sorry for that. See here. It is possible to change the degrees of comparison of an adjective in a sentence without changing its meaning. So it is possible that you can change the degree, like you can change from comparative to superlative or superlative to comparative without changing its meaning. There is some way you can do it. First is what? From superlative to comparative. See the first one. Lead is the heaviest of all metals. You can see it is in superlative. Now see how we write it in comparative. Lead is heavier than all other metals. So we are comparing it with all others, that it is heavier. Then see B part. Riverdale is the best school in our city. Riverdale is better than any other school in our city. So in this way we can change it from superlative to comparative degree. Now let's see the first one. We will get how to do it. The first one is, Mukesh Ambani is the richest businessman in India. So what will be the answer? Mukesh Ambani is richer. You have seen richest becomes richer. Mukesh Ambani is richer than any other businessman in India. See the second one. He is the tallest of all the students in his class. He is taller than all other students in his class. Then see the third. Asia is the largest continent in the world. Asia is larger than any other continent in the world. Fourth, Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Mount Everest is higher than any other mountain in the world. And fifth, Dr. Jan is the most experienced of all the doctors in the hospital. Dr. Jan is more experienced than all other doctors in the hospital. Now let's see it in written form. See the answers. Pause it for some time. Sorry again for that. Pause it for some time and see it. Mukesh Ambani is richer than any other businessman in India. Then second, he is taller than all other students in his class. Third, Asia is larger than any other continent in the world. Fourth, Mount Everest is higher than any other mountain in the world. And the fifth, Dr. Jan is more experienced than all other doctors in the hospital. You can see here richest become richer, tallest become taller, largest become larger, highest become higher, and most experienced become more experienced. And you can see this word than, it shows that we have changed it into comparative degree. Alright, now let's get back to our next exercise. See here on the last page of this chapter, here we are changing comparative degree to positive degree. Comparative to positive. And see the example. Lead is heavier than any other metal. How it is written? Other metals are not as heavy as lead, or we can say no other metal is as heavy as lead. You can write in any of these form. Alright, you can write any one. So let's do this exercise R. You have to change it from comparative to positive degree without changing its meaning. See the first one. Shakespeare is greater than any other English playwright. What will be the answer? No other English playwright is as great as Shakespeare. Alright. Then second, J is better than Fizza in English. Fizza is not as good as J in English. Third, the pen is mightier than the sword. The sword is not as mighty as the pen. Then fourth, gold is more expensive than any other metal. No other metal is as expensive as gold. Alright, let's see the answers in written form. See the answers. No other English playwright is as great as Shakespeare. Then second, Fizza is not as good as J in English. Third, the sword is not as mighty as the pen. Fourth, no other metal is as expensive as gold. Now let's do our last exercise of this chapter. Now what we have to do in the last exercise, we have to change from comparative to superlative degree. Comparative to superlative. Like if you see this example 1, Mumbai is bigger than any other city in India. Mumbai is the biggest city in India. Jaya is more intelligent than any other girl in the class. Jaya is the most intelligent girl in the class. This is actually quite easy one. You just have to change it into superlative degree. See what is there? Bhumi is more hardworking than any other student in class. What will be the answer? Bhumi is the most hardworking student in the class. Then Joy is stronger than any other boy in his locality. Joy is the strongest boy in his locality. Third, she is more intelligent than any other girl in school. She is the most intelligent girl in school. Michael Jackson was more popular than any other singer in the world. Michael Jackson was the most popular singer in the world. Then Sachin is a better batsman than any of his team members. Sachin is the best batsman among his team members. Alright, let's see the last exercise in written form. See, Bhumi is the most hardworking student in the class. Second, Joy is the strongest boy in his locality. Third, she is the most intelligent girl in school. Fourth, Michael Jackson was the most popular singer in the world. Fifth, Sachin is the best batsman among his team members. So by this we finish this chapter. Try to do all of these exercises somewhere properly, maybe in your fair copy, and keep everything intact in a proper way, and see that you are able to follow every exercise. Alright, bye and take care.